and it's bound to forsake me. So stupid minded, but I go.
So let it be written, so let it be done.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Peace and blessings to everyone out there. This is Forever Heritage Hip Hop coming to you live on the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. Heritage Hip Hop is more than music. We bring you your future favorite artists a day while celebrating hip hop culture and its foundation and rising up to bring you the people that stand on our shoulders, the new generation that's going to lead you into great listening, great music, and great artistry. Before we start, thank you for spending your time with us. I like to say thank you for everybody who supported the Heritage Hip Hop Award Show, and salute to all our winners. If you like the platform, hit the like button. Please share this. If you want to donate, $ Heritage Hip Hop is the Cash App. And most importantly, it's time to get busy. I got somebody on here that's real when it comes to loving his art, loving his craft, and giving the people what they need. You know, giving the people what it is that they're looking for when they listen to good music. So without any further ado, let's bring them up. Ladies and gentlemen, it was once said that the faith of a mustard seed could move mountains and a microphone could move a crowd. What do you do when you go to the top of a mountain and it's a microphone there? You introduce the MC. Talk to your shit. Who are you, brother?
What's good? This is Mike Mountain. How you doing?
Hey man, I'm having a great time. I'm glad to be able to talk to you because we about on Heritage Hip Hop. We're about celebrating the person that is the artist, not just celebrating the music. So tell the people a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and your love of music.
All right, my name is MIC Mountain, Mike Mountain. My real name is Michael Mountain, so I'll put that together as Mike Mountain, stand for microphone, just shorten the name. I'm from Landover, Maryland. That's in the Washington, D.C. area. It's like a 5-minute drive from D.C. I represent that real hip hop, that boom bap, that Latin rap. I do a little bit of everything. Even do some reggaeton. Even do a little bit of singing. But I just cook up that flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I give people what they need. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, music is necessary when it comes to all people's lives because music is the identity of your heritage and your culture. Talk about how important music is to your culture and how you adopted it in your lifestyle.
Music has always been important to my culture. As a Afro-Latino and as an African-American, music has always been important to my culture as someone of the African diaspora. It's been a spiritual conduit and tool since the continent, and also as a time to commiserate with my peoples when we weren't working in the fields in Puerto Rico and in Virginia. It was a time to rejoice and to motivate and to praise our Creator and to celebrate life. And that's really my reason for living. I have no kids, I have no wife, but I got my music, and I do it for my family. I do it for my moms. I do it for my cousins, and I do it for my friends, and most of all, I do it for me. You know what I'm saying? It gives me a reason to live. You know what I'm saying? Just like my ancestors did.
Living is the best part about life because living is the experience of a journey that takes you from one part of existence to the next. If it wasn't about music, how would our people exist? What do you think about that?
I think we would have been fell off the planet, especially if they didn't have black people here. I really do. I really do. I think people would have been off themselves because they call black music soul music because we teach people about their humanity. You know, we have the perfect as the first human beings on the planet. You know what I'm saying? We exemplify the human experience. You know what I'm saying? The downfalls and the uprises, the goods and the bads, the peaks and the valleys. You know what I'm saying? So I think that as an experience, it's very important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because music has connected us to what I like to call the God calling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I really don't believe hip hop is music or a genre at all. I believe hip hop is the newest slang term we use to express our free connection to the Most High through our living expression. Like, think
That's
about
true.
this. Thank you. Think about this. Hip hop isn't a music because it could be translated in so many different walks of life. I never heard somebody say you're R&B by the way you dress. I never heard a person say you're rock and roll from that hat you wear.
Right, right.
I've never like if you don't even know the origins of jazz, Caucasian people hated jazz because jazz was a term that meant sex. So when you jazz somebody, you were moving your hips.
Right. Just
So
like
it was the devil's music, right?
Yeah.
Now we heard talking all that jazz, but we never heard, damn, he mad jazz, yo. Like, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
So when you start putting on that jacket in your life that says you were hip hop, how did you express yourself? And then how did you grow through that expression?
Oh wow, man. It's been a journey. I've been doing hip hop for the last 30 years, 31 years, I believe. Since I was like 15, 14 years old, maybe 32 years. And you know, I started writing my first rhyme when I was about 11, 12 years old. And hip hop has always been in my heart, you know, since I was, you know, I wasn't in the actual activity of hip hop per se. It wasn't necessarily around me all the time, like as if I grew up in the New York tri-state area. But I did have uncles that, you know, because I was born in Jersey, I do have family that was up north that did come down here, and they were breakdancing on mats and things of that nature when I was like 6 years old. And to see that, to witness that, and to you know, always hear I'm the king of rock, you know, when that video came on, and to watch the videos all the time. It's really the videos for me as a kid just growing up, and to take that on was really just like it was kind of like a stepfather to me, to like for a lot of us, you know, who didn't have a father growing up. It kind of like taught us a lot about life and a lot of lessons as impressionable youth. It influenced me. I found in my late late teens to early 20s, trying to follow a certain stereotypical profile for young black men and young Hispanic men. You know, following you know, my environment and my peers and what hip hop music was, and literally living it. And I had to grow up and learning from my mistakes. I learned that sometimes you have to make a differentiation between what's reality and what's not, and what you stand for, and what is what somebody else stands for. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm sorry, let me cut you off. Go ahead.
I'm good. Now I was just saying I took it on my back, you know what I'm saying, like a jacket, but some things, you know, is somebody else's opinion or view, and it's not what I should take on myself. I shouldn't live by it Like it's the 10 Commandments. You know what I'm saying? Some things I have to stand for myself as a man, and things, you know, make my own decisions on things, and not say, oh well, because this rapper said this, or because they said you have to be this way in the rap hip hop community, this is how I have to live my life, or this is how I have to go about things. That's not for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
I want to focus on something you said. Ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty early, but this is how dope this interview is. We have a portion called Let's Build. And this is where we take something that the artist has said and we branch it out to give more depth to the interview, because this gentleman said that he's half African American, half Hispanic. And in today's hip hop culture, there's so many arguments over who started hip hop or who was there in the origins, when in actuality, we see people being put against each other to destroy the culture. And this man is the living embodiment of both sides coming together to make something fruitful and impactful to the culture. So I want to ask you this question. Being that you have one identity with two different origins, I want to ask you, how do they complement each other to make you a great artist and not just a person who grabs from each side to make music?
Well, I want to be exact. I'm Puerto Rican from my grandmother's side, so I'm not fully half Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican from my grandmother's side, so I would say 1/4. But that is the identity that I've because of the aesthetic that I have, and that and the culture that I've been around. That is what I represent. But because I was raised African American, I also represent that as well. And it's both a part of me. It's intrinsically a part of me. I can't separate it. I got that sazon and I got that soul. You know what I'm saying? I can't really say, I can't really separate it or pick it apart. It's just one plays off of the other. It's just what it is. It's just who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's just who I am. I couldn't do without the other. Like, it's just who I am and what I was raised to be. You know what I'm saying? From my family, it's just what it is. I love salsa music. I love hip hop, and seeing other artists doing it, other Hispanic artists doing their version of it, doing Spanglish in their raps, or using Latin samples, or bringing certain themes or certain choruses from old Latin songs into it. It just it inspired me to do the same thing, and but keep it soul, keep it funky. You know what I'm saying? Always keep that in there, and I think that's what makes the perfect combination, and that's what keeps me on top and keeps me on float on top of my thing. Is to always keep a balance between the two. Whether it's using James Brown samples from drum break beats and mixing that with old bolero samples, or using some cumbia and mixing that with some, you know, some old jazz break beats and bass lines. It's just what I am. It's an expression of who I am inside, and it just comes out in the music.
See, and that's why I love hip hop so much, because hip hop tells you to be yourself. But I want to ask you a philosophical question. Hip hop was the counterculture to the world, because hip hop told the world we exist when the world says you don't. Now that hip hop is the culture, does it need a counterculture? And where do you see hip hop going without one?
I think hip hop needs a check and balance. I think it does need a check and balance. Sometimes, you know, a body, an organism, or a body, or maybe the earth itself, like the earth is a living organism, it may produce a virus or a bacteria to cleanse itself of impurities. So it may go through a time of sickness or a time of fasting, and then the cycle cleanses itself, and then it repeats itself over certain times when needed, when those checks and balances are needed. And I think that we do need some type of how can I say, I wouldn't say redemption, but some type of for lack of better words, some type of going back to what is right and bringing that to the youth of the old school rules and teaching them what is right in the basics. You know what I'm saying? To keep it going further and make it better. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
It does make sense because that's called originality. That's called gatekeeping the proper way. That's called cleansing, because everything needs to be cleansed at some time. Even the earth cleansed itself because we have cataclysms that brought forth new civilizations, you know?
Self-maintenance, you know?
Exactly. So with hip hop, right? While letting other people get in command of the culture, of the art, they've tried to take over the culture. But the thing about hip hop is, let me ask you this question. Is hip hop a culture, and why do you say it is or is not?
You already know the answer. That's funny you said that. I had a conversation with someone who their opinion I value very much, and they had the right to speak on it because they're from New York and they grew up with it, and they said they grew up while it was growing and while it was alive, and he said that hip hop is a subculture. It's not a culture because from his viewpoint, he comes from a culture which is Lucumí or Santeria from Cuba, and it's an intact culture. It's not new, should I say? You know what I'm saying? It's not new how hip hop is. You know what I'm saying? So from his standpoint, he was like, hip hop is kind of like a subculture of a culture. I had that viewpoint until people kept correcting me, and then I said, okay, fine, you got it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't have the place to say what it is, even though I grew up with hip hop and I was there as far as seeing it from the television and the radio, but I wasn't there live in the parks and all of that. I really don't have a place to say whether it's a culture or it's not. So I'm gonna leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? I could just tell you what I've thought and what I've spoke on before. And I may say some unpopular things sometimes, but I do spark ideas. And I'll just offer that some people may think that it's a subculture of a culture. It's a subculture of the African American culture. But some people may think that it's a live culture that because it has so many elements to it that make it a live, thriving culture. But some people say, like I said, on the other hand, some people say that cultures take hundreds and hundreds of years to develop before they can be a culture. So I mean, it's all in your perspective and your point of view.
That's interesting because a subculture could never take over the world, but a culture can, because a subculture will only stay alive for a time. If that definition is the actual intact understanding of a culture, then every culture is a subculture because the first original people started culture.
That's true.
The thing about hip,
very true.
Yeah, the thing about hip hop is it encompasses music, dance, dress, art, faith, sex, money, and ultimately technology. So it could be called a culture in theory, but then does it have a flag? Does it have patriarchs? Does it have any interesting days or celebrations? That's where you come in as the artist, because through your album covers, through your choice of beats, through your wordplay, you're expanding on the human element by giving it a different representation to reach people who may not have the understanding of who they are yet or what the culture actually means to people that are alive today.
Right.
So I give you a lot of credit because not only do you create music, but you have an identity that goes against the clash of what is counterculture in hip hop, which is called self-preservation, but ultimately is self-hatred due to the mainstream. So salute to you.
Thank you. I never even looked at it that way, but I appreciate it very much, man. I'm gonna look at this interview back and reflect on this, man, for years to come. Trust me.
I told you ain't never have an interview like this.
You say some powerful words, man, and you are so right. You are so right.
Well, salute to God. It came from the Most High. It ain't for me. Nah, it's the Most High.
Hallelujah. Kadosh Israel.
That's right. Yeah. You know so we talked about your partner from New York. Ultimately, you're from DC, right?
Now from the DC area. That's right.
Shout out to Maryland, DC, the DMV area. I want to ask you a bugged out question that I think would illustrate your love of hip hop more. How is hip hop different to you from Jersey, DMV, and New York through your experience?
That's a good one. I never got asked that question. DC has always been based in go-go music. So it's been more more reality based, more like gangster music, in a lot of sense. Either party music or gangster music. A lot of fusion of the two. I can't really speak too much on go-go because I'm not a hardcore fan of it and never really was. I kind of went against the grain because I've always been into hip hop and I've always been into lyrical hip hop. And that's a good question because the hip hop that I grew up on, or should I say the hip hop that I grew up around in the DC area, was mostly reality based or more not reality based, but more not very imaginative, more not very wordplay filled. It was more gangster. It was more it was just it was more gangster. It was more similar to West Coast music or down south music. You know what I'm saying? It was most down south rap. You know what I'm saying? It's like Scarface or Ghetto Boys, what have you. It was more so like that. I was always into more like stuff like stuff that was more from Jersey and New York that was more like in the like lyrical wordplay and that lyrical spiritual individual type stuff. You know what I'm saying? That was really like clever and witty and really took it there with your imagination and how you could really bend words and play with it. You know what I'm saying? I was into the battling, I was into the freestyling, I was into the just writing my ass off, you know what I'm saying, and trying to be the best MC or the best writer or the best lyricist, you know what I'm saying? That's more of how I was. And I really wasn't there was a shortage of those type of MCs in the DMV area when I come up. More so now, it's not like that. Because of the internet, people are more open to express themselves and they're more open to different forms of music and different viewpoints from all over the world. And DC and DMV hip hop has been a lot more diverse now. There's a lot more lyricism in it. There's a lot more variety. You can have your choice of of what you want now, you know what I'm saying? And there's even a mix of it. So I mean, it's more different now, you know what I'm saying? I like it much more the way it is now than how it was before, because now you have the freedom of the internet and the underground, and people can make whatever type of music they want. You don't have to stick into a necessary box to get heard or to get popularity or support from your local community. You don't have to be a certain stereotype or a certain uniform rapper from the DMV area in order to be respected. You can actually do whatever type of hip hop you want and still be from the DMV, and that's how I like it now.
Great answer, because I miss the regionality of hip hop where you went somewhere and they sounded like where they're from.
Yeah.
The internet made the world smaller.
Yeah, it did.
But even when we look at cultural impacts in hip hop, people take Hispanics and put them in one group called Latin X, which is crazy because that's not good. Because you could tear away some of the cultural differences within each part of the Latin culture. But in actuality, there's not too many Latin rappers who sound the same. Now, check this out. One of my favorite Hispanic hip-hop artists of all time is the Beatnuts. Beatnuts Forever is one of my favorite joints.
That's my shit too, yo.
Ever.
Cut your heart up like steak sauce or some shit. Yo.
Yo, my man said, I'm even second than less. And he said he don't want to win me. Figure the rest. I was like, yeah. Juju's and Psycho Les is a monster.
Hell yeah.
And I was riding with the Beatnuts when there was 4 people in the group, not just 2.
Yeah.
So Rain of the Tech. Yeah, salute. Yeah.
Fash.
Talk about it.
Psycho.
Yeah.
And Juju.
And the thing is, right? And shout out to the Beatnuts because they was in Tribe Called Quest. Juju was in Can I Kick It video back on the first Tribe Called Quest
back
album.
In the day,
yeah, we real hip-hop historians over here, y'all. So
they wasn't even serious back then.
Wow,
they wasn't looking serious in that video, should I say? They was having fun, and that's what I loved about it. Even Redman, when he was in the
scenario,
the scenario, he's eating the chicken. Just having fun, man. You know what I'm saying?
Chilling.
That was native tongues, man. I loved it.
And the thing about Hispanic hip hop, right? When you look at Hispanic hip hop, how many Hispanic rappers actually sound the same? Beatnuts do not sound like Pun. They really don't. Stop it. The Off the Books is a classic, but they don't rap the same. Stop it.
They don't at all.
Cuban Link didn't even sound like the Beatnuts.
Nope.
Let's take it further back, though. Let's start from Kid Frost. This is Full of Rasa. Let's take it to lighter shade of brown. How about Royal Flush and Fab? If y'all didn't know.
Cuban.
Hey, let's talk about it. Let's talk about how Hispanic culture has always gave hip-hop something that is able to latch onto and grow from. What is your favorite part of the Hispanic sound of hip-hop that hip-hop embraced? And what part of the Hispanic sound has hip-hop not embraced that you want to bring to the game?
Damn, you be really making some hard questions, man. That's some difficult ass questions, bro.
Welcome to Heritage Hip Hop.
I see. Thank you for having me. Wow. Something that I always liked was when they use the percussions, like when Jimmy Castor or Jimmy Castor or old school artists, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't even say their names, you know what I'm saying? They would use the Latin percussions from like Tito Puente or you know what I'm saying, different artists, you know what I'm saying? They would use the drums and you know, I mean they would use the drum, you know, the congas and the claves and the you know what I'm saying, the different percussions, you know what I'm saying? That was something that I always liked. Something that they don't do, wow, that I would like to bring, or that I'm bringing. Wow, you really got me stumbled on that one, man. I don't know, man. I'm just doing what I'm doing, man. I don't even know what I'm doing, bro. It's like people are defining it for me. I don't know what I'm doing. I you know what I'm saying? I'm just doing it. I mean, I think they should bring more Spanglish. I mean, I know, but that's something that they already brought. I don't know. You got me, man. You got me on that one, man. I'm dead.
Nah, man. And that's the beautiful thing about what hip hop is, y'all, because we bring out the humanity in hip hop with our questions and our conversation. Because, like I said, when you get to know who you're talking to and where they come from and the depth of knowledge of who they are and the culture they represent, it makes you appreciate them and their sound that much more. We're going to go to commercial break right now, but when we come back, we're going to talk about this gentleman's new album, which is part of a 3-part trilogy and more. So guess what? We'll be right back after this important message. Stay tuned.
Where you get your hip hop from? Yeah. What's up? This Tribal Trigger Trench in the building. You already know. Nip, naughty.
Hey, Redman is in the building, of course. Jersey's finest, all about them bars, marijuana smoker. Hey, PSA announcement. I need everybody go support. That's right, support my fucking state, my city. Heritage Hip Hop, a New Jersey media source that celebrates New Jersey hip hop worldwide. Facts. Please subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on social media. That is Heritage Hip Hop on social media.
What up, y'all, man? It's your boy Do It All, Do Pray Kelly, right here on Heritage Hip Hop, man. Look, man, let me tell you something. Make sure you support Heritage Hip Hop, because without these brothers bringing you hip hop, we're not gonna stay informed, man, the way that we need to stay informed, man. And they're not just giving you hip hop, man. They're giving you the heritage of hip hop, right here, man. Yo, Karev, I see you. Heritage Hip Hop, man. Let's do it. It ain't nothing like Heritage Hip Hop.
You like your surprise?
Yeah.
Shout out to the goats. Shout out to the goats.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's talk about. See, we ended off on what music and what sound you want to bring to the culture. So let's talk about the sound that you bring to the culture. Talk about Triple Piragua and why is it 3 of them? And tell me about that cover, because you got something on there that I can relate to very harshly. Tell me about it.
Okay, like I was talking about my friend from New York. That's my padrino. That's my spiritual godfather. In the Lucumi Santeria faith or African traditional religion, Cuban African traditional religion. And he told me in my first reading that I have a destiny to always complete things in 3s. And I knew this about myself before. Like everything he told me, I knew basically. You know what I'm saying? That's how I knew he was on point. And it was a true divination reading. So I did the Warpath series in 3s, which by that point, that's when he had told me. And then I had went ahead and started. I was like, all right, so I'm gonna do everything else in 3s. So I went ahead and did Piragua's 1. Then I came out with Mas Piraguas because that was the only logical name that I could come up with, was just more Piragua. And then Triple Piragua, which, you know what I'm saying, it's a double play, because, you know, you can either say triple or triple. You know, it's the same spelling, whether it's in English or Spanish. And I just wanted to give more people even more flavor, you know what I'm saying? Because Piraguas is, as y'all who might not know, is a piragua stands for pyramid of water, which is basically a snow cone with fructose flavor on it, with different flavors like grape, coconut, pina colada, lemon, lime, different flavors that you put on it. And it's a guy that gives them out at a cart. He shaves the ice and he puts it in the cup, and he gives them out for like maybe $2-3, $1.50 at the cheapest. And it's a treat for everybody. In Puerto Rico, it's a year-round treat, because the weather is always hot there. But usually in the summertime, he usually comes around in the Latin neighborhoods. Sometimes they call it granizados. In the Cuban neighborhoods, they call it raspados. In the Mexican neighborhoods, they come in different styles. But, you know, I figured that what I would do is just give different flavors to the people, and I would give them in 3 different flavors, which would be Latin hip hop, boom bap, you know, the what I grew up on, like the Beat Nuts and Fat Joe and Big Pun and what have you. And then I would give them Latin trap, which I started getting into more, and reggaeton, which I started getting into more. You know what I'm saying? So I would just give them 3 flavors, and I figured Triple Piraguas will be the ultimate completion to the trilogy of the Piragua series. So it's Triple Piragua.
That's fire because you have a meaning for everything that you did. Because Warpath, I heard only Warpath 2 and 3. I didn't get number 1. And then you had the Avalanche, which was a standalone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of broke up the trilogy thing. But most stories are always told in trilogies. You have the beginning, the middle, and the end. I think Star Wars, the original trilogy, did it the best because the bad guy had to lose. I mean, bad guy had to win to set up the victory, ultimate victory.
Yeah.
Does
set it up.
any one of your albums ever put you at a loss where the third one comes out and it's like you blow people away by how you set up the trilogy?
I'll tell you what, the first album and the third album were definitely a challenge. There's some things I can't get into behind the workings of the album, but the first album was supposed to be a double between me and another artist. We were supposed to do the album together, and I ended up having to pull my own weight on that and do it myself, and it ended up for the better. You know, that it was my own solo album. So that was a struggle. The second album was a continuation. That's when I had met up with Mr. Scratch Hook, aka E-Rex. He had did a lot of the scratches. He had produced some tracks on it. And he had engineered, mixed and mastered the whole album. When we did Triple Piraguas, it took me 3 years to get it done. I had a hard time with getting the collabos together, getting on time with the deadlines. I had a hard time with getting the funds together to make everything happen, to pay for the features and the marketing and, you know, the merchandise for the brand, because I had a brand that came with it this time. This time with Triple Piragua, I brought a brand. You know, I have t-shirts and with the logo and everything for Triple Piragua. So like I was really going at it, you know, full force. And it was like the more challenges came by, it was like, how bad do you really want it? You know what I'm saying? It was like almost like, how bad do you really want it? And it was like, I put my life's work into this, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it became almost a matter of life and death where I wanted to literally give up. You know what I'm saying? So I could just tell you that not thematically, there wasn't any plot twist to it, but behind the scenes, there was definitely a lot of karmic undertones and challenges that came with putting the album together. So this third one was really a challenge, man. It was really a challenge. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, bro, it was at a point where I really wanted to give up life. And that was at the point right before the album came out. So, I mean, I put everything into this music, man. This is my life, man. This is my baby. These albums are my children, man. I love them with all my heart, man. You know what I'm saying? We have a saying in the Spanish culture called cariño or cariño, which means like love or special care. You know what I'm saying? The more cariño you put into it when you cook, you put cariño in it. You know, your mom puts cariño in it, or your abuela puts cariño in it, or, you know, like how they say you put your foot into it. You know what I'm saying? So I put my soul into this, man. So yeah, man, it was definitely a battle. It was definitely a battle between good and evil. I assure you that.
Yeah, I love the fact you said that, because only people that's of the culture can understand. Because don't think podcasting is just not as strenuous. Because, man, you know how many people I've had that I look forward to interviewing and they don't show up, or you have
You want to give
people
up.
who think they're too good for your numbers and all that,
Right.
and you put your all into prepping for something to get it done, and for the day of it just falls to shit. Like I get it. I've had many projects I've been working on, and people be like, "Yeah, I help you," and then they just fall the fuck apart, or they just don't show up when it's time to get busy and get that work done. You know what I'm saying?
Only you gotta stick to it. You gotta stick at it and make it happen.
Yeah, and that's why we still here. 7 years deep. That's right.
Man, 7 years. I feel
7 years deep. Let's go. And one thing about your project, I love the musicality. Let me tell you something. I love boom bap. I like trap. I do. I like that traditional West Coast. I like the new West. But when I hear somebody come in with a different culture, I want to hear their ethnic background reflected in their music. When I heard the chops of Hector Lavoe and some of them beats, I'm like, come on, yo, this is what I'm talking about. Because I listened to a DJ Quick album and he said, what's music? And somebody asked him, what's missing in hip hop? He said, a banjo. And it was like, a fucking banjo. But then Quick played the beat he made with the banjo. And if you have a producer's ear, he's telling you there's other rhythms that we can hit that we haven't hit yet.
Right.
And with a lot of your music, you got that swing and that dance, and you got that salsa and that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it hits. It hits. And then it makes you appreciate the culture with Tito, Hector, Willie, even fuck it. Let's go to Celia Cruz, or I forgot the one girl. Oh, she talked about she sung about being black. So she sung about being black, but she was fair skinned, and she's from the 1940s. She was dope. I can't remember her name. Yeah, I study music, bro. So I kind of And I mean, there's so much to the cultures that when it comes to the hip hop culture, what it does is it enriches us by symmetry of sound. How did you get the producers and the production you wanted for Triple Piragua to make it what it is?
All right, I'll tell you like this, man. It started off with Domingo, Pieces Domingo. He helped me out a lot. Excuse me, he helped me out a lot with the project. He did not most of the production, but a lot of it. I would say about 30% of it. And he basically hooked it up, man. He did a lot of production with salsa samples and breaks, you know. And he set the tone for me to do it. He also used you know, he did the La Rumba intro. He did Calle Soul. He did Puñetazo. He did No Guantes. He did also one other track. I can't remember, man. I can't even remember off the top of my head. No time to remember. But I can tell you that, you know, that started off, and then I did my own production, you know, sampling some salsa that I had known since I was a kid, that I always loved. So that was really fun to put that part of me into the music. Mr. Scratch Hook had he's been doing Latin samples since the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So he went ahead and did his thing. He did his thing and knocked it out. Hanzo Blaze sent me a beat, which was Latin influence. And AJ Throwback did the Traviesa beat, which I basically provided the drums and he filled out the instrumentation for it. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a beautiful thing, man. We just used elements from salsa music and different Latin music. We just chopped it up, we looped it, we added drums and bass, and then we had it, man. You know what I'm saying? It was dinner was served. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love it. And shout out to, I think I almost found who I was talking about. I think it's Lydia Mendoza. I think that's who I'm talking about. I could be wrong, but there's so much richness when it comes to Hispanic music that it pisses me off when people try to separate the cultures that embody hip hop to say this person wasn't there in the beginning, this wasn't it. We know it's Black culture. We know that. But we also know that we were together in the struggle. So why should we tear each other down in the struggle? Shout out to my man, Daddy Rich. We got the Deluxe fam in there. He said, what's the link to the album or the title? The album that we're talking about is called Triple Piragua by my man right here, Mike Mountain. And I'm telling you.
That's Piragua.
That's right. And shout out to my other brother, Musa Major, who not only is one of the greats when it comes to social commentary, but he's really real when it comes to his lyrics. He's checking you out right now as well.
Hello.
I'm gonna tell you this. Let me go to my notes about the album real quick, because one thing I do not take for granted is when you listen to good music, you should want to know what you're listening to and not just be like, okay, these are just singles and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let's start from What We Look Like.
Oh,
Shout out to the New Jerichans, my boys. So Valdez and Joey Dynamite. Oh, my dudes right there. Talk to me about how that came about and tell them about the song.
That was something that came about where you know, me and the New Jerichans have always been friends for a minute online, you know, for at least about 10 years, at least 17 years. And we've been fan of each other's music, and we always supported each other. A lot of the collabos happen that way, with that type of relationship online. And we decided that I said, look, I want y'all to be, I asked Joey, I said, I asked Sal, I asked Soul Zales, I said, yo, do you want to be on the album? He said, yeah. He said, ask Joey though. He said he does all the booking and you know, the business. So how did I Joey? Joey said, yeah, as long as you give me credit on the beat, because we're trying to get our beats out there. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get the name for our production out there. I was like, all right, cool, no problem. So then we did the song. They recorded their verses first. I recorded my verse second. It sounded like we were going back and forth in the studio, and it was meant to sound like that. They pre-recorded theirs the way and set up the pitch. I came in, knocked it out, and I did the hook, and I had my engineer finish it up, and you know, he brought the beat out more with his engineering, with his genius. Shout out to Mr. Scratch Hook, aka E-Rex again. And it was a classic, man. It was a classic, man. I loved it. And we called it What We Look Like, because Puerto Ricans or Hispanics and you know, we just come as different, we look different, you know what I'm saying? And we do different things. We're not the same stereotype. Some of us are book smart, some of us are street dudes, you know what I'm saying? You know, but whatever you do, you know, it's a live thing going on. Everything's live. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, what we look like.
One thing I love, besides how you're putting that together, is how every distinctive guest on the actual project represents something different in each song.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Joey Dynamite's verses and what they added in, when you go to El Pasito, shout out to Shaban Sadiq.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go. Shaban Sadiq is kind of a legend in these hip hop streets.
Definitely a legend.
And having him on this project and with your own sound, how did that enrich your process of making this album? And did it inspire you to go even deeper in your depth of rhymes and wanting to collab with known artists?
Having him on my project was an honor. You know, he did his thing, man. He did his thing. And I gotta tell him, I really appreciate the fact that he did his verse in such a short notice and short deadline for me, because usually with Bam, you know what I'm saying, if you know from working with him, he takes his time at verses, and it's for a purpose. It's intentional, because he puts certain detail in it, and there's no coincidence in what he writes. You know what I'm saying? So there's meaning between everything that he puts in his rhymes, and I was kind of you know, rushing the process a little bit, and he was patient with me, and he made it happen anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I really admire him for what he did. You know what I'm saying? And how he did it. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely, because when a legend or someone of high respect and regard takes their time, that means they really fucking with you and they want to give you no bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's like the most honorable thing a master can do to somebody who's becoming a master in their own craft. You see what I'm saying?
You gotta give a cook his time to cook that food, man. If you want to write, you gotta give him his time. You know what I'm saying? If you want that meal cooked good, you gotta give him his time. So
I mean, anybody can get souped off of or get excited off of the features that you got. But let's talk about the end of the night.
Oh yeah,
La Fin de Noche, Mountain Time. Come on, y'all. I know a little bit of that Spanish too, bro. Come on, talk to me.
Let me tell you something, man. I made that song about a certain female that inspired a lot of the music, inspired the Piragua series. She helped inspire the Piragua series. She was a part of it, and I just one thing about me is that I'm very picky when it comes to the women that I choose. You know what I'm saying? Very, very picky. And once I lock on, I'm all in. And so I met her in Puerto Rico, and I was like, yeah, let me do something. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm half Hispanic and Jamaican or whatever. So I was like, let me put a little Jamaican in here. Let me put some Hispanic in here. Let me put this in here and make it like a little reggaeton type dance hall, or what have you. I don't know if it would say dance hall, but let me make it, let me make it about lust, because at the end of the day, I study the Kabbalah. I'm a novice student. I just started studying, and there's one lesson in it that it says that everything is created through sexual procreation between two opposites, male and female. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, everything is created. Everything through that sexual intent. I don't want to quote it to the T, but through sexual intent, everything is created into the physical world and manifests. Like you are a reflection of your father's intent to be in this world forever, and you are a physical copy of you. You are the matter, or your mother. You are the physical matter that your mother created. You know what I'm saying? She created you, and he basically inspired you into coming in. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually, like that's through that intent and the compilation of the two intermingling of that too. So I was like, let me make this song about the sexual intent and creating. You know what I'm saying? And it's what inspired me, because at the end of the day, what inspires us to do what we do? Women.
That's interesting, because I don't like the term opposite sex, because if men and women were opposite, we can never procreate.
I mean, polar.
I get you. I know. I get you. Just for edification terms for everybody that's listening, because I go into these things.
Right.
We're complementary.
Exactly.
And the complimentary part that begins the process. Let's take it back to your music, though. You think you slick? I caught you what you just did.
Trying to take it away a little bit.
No. You planted the seed. The complimentary part of what it is that most procreative decisions come from the man, because it starts in the mind.
Right.
So whether you believe God as the man, God the woman, either way, your mind is fertile ground for something to be produced.
Right.
See how I did that?
That's right.
And the thing about this album, shout out to my man Daddy Rich. He said he downloaded the album.
Thank you.
He downloaded the album off iTunes. I don't know which one he got, but he said Hookah, number 3, Hookah. Got it on lock right now.
That's Piragua. That's the first album.
That's the first one. So that's good. He got the first one.
That's cool.
There's 2 more of them.
Thank you.
Hey, Heritage Hip Hop bringing sales up in here. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. When
Buy the music.
Check out Mas Piragua, and then after that, you can check out Triple Piragua if you like.
Yo, man, and your music is good, bro. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Bro. Sometimes I get people who want interviews, and I've introduced some of those. I'm saying people just make you just. But then when you get some good music, when you get some good music, you are relieved. You see what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
And I'm not gonna lie, yo. When I heard Triple Piragua, I was like, ooh, yo, man, yo. Let's say, wanted to grab somebody by the shirt. Like, how come you ain't tell me about this shit? You know what I'm saying? You got some great sounds, bro. And one of the songs I really like, let me go back to my notes. I ain't even gonna talk about PRM. I'm not even, man, that's too easy. I want to talk about, shout out to Psycho Les. We talked about the Beat Nuts and Mucho Swing already, right?
Yeah.
Calle Soul.
Okay.
Get nasty with that one. Tell me about
that.
Calle Soul.
That was the last song that I recorded, man. That was the last song. That was after I had reached that point where I was about to give up on life. And I was like, all right, it's time to push through. It's time to finish what we got to do. We just got over this hurdle, this big hurdle. All right, my team is with me. I got the support of my team, my family. Let's do this. We're going to knock out this last song. All I got to do is do the second verse. And all I got to do is do the second verse. Actually, the second verse that I did to it was the first verse on the track. Because I had already did the second verse before. The second, it was supposed to be a song with 2 other features on it. I'm not going to say who.
Okay.
But that, which may be a part 2 after that. I'm not sure. Y'all look out for that. But shout out to Domingo for the track. And I can tell you that was just having fun, man. I was just having fun with it. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get too particular with the Spanish. I'm not going to be too say too much and try to say, be too correct with the Spanish. I'm going to just use Ebonics and the Spanish, and whatever sounds good, I'll use Italian if I have to. And I said pesto or something, I think. And I was, you know what I mean? So it was just fun, man. I just had fun with it. Oh shit, the volume.
My computer bugging. Let's talk about Pastelones. I need to know that hook, yo. Do the hook for me, please.
Pastelones. Oh yeah. You know, Rich, you don't got the cojones. My family need new shoes and pantalones. We stacking. I don't know how that shit go, man.
The end of the song, one man's talking about guapo. Like, that had me bug. I was like, handsome.
I know that hook.
Which was that one? Which was that one?
That was puñetazo.
Puñetazo. Okay.
It means knuckle sandwich. It means knuckle sandwich, y'all.
Okay, I got them too confused. Let's break it down. Pastelones is Chilo and H2O's, right?
Yeah, pastelones is like a Puerto Rican lasagna, made of
right.
Plantains instead of noodles. Fried plantains instead of noodles.
Okay.
And we use that as a metaphor for each slice of lasagna is like a wad of cash, or like a, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying?
That's the one with the bounce to it. That's the one with the bounce to it.
Yeah.
That's the Cypher record that got you like, oh shit, did it go here? And then you go here with it.
Yeah.
I love the bounce on that one. That was dope. I love it.
And then puñetazo is
the shit.
Sandwich.
That's the shit. I love that song.
Borracho mean you drunk. You've been drinking too much. You know what I'm saying? Tu ta borracho. Tu ta borracho. You've been drinking too much. Tu ta borracho.
My man,
keep this puñetazo.
My man, I know something about coming around thinking like you guapo or something.
Oh yeah,
cabronito or something. I was like, yo, I can understand a little bit of it, and I was just laughing the whole time. Like, I think I know what they saying, but yo,
don't come around acting like you macho.
Yeah,
it's on the real, you's a cabronazo, you's a sucker or something like that's how I go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them sideways niggas. But then it say, you've been drinking too much. Tu ta borracho, you drunk. Keep it moving or catch this puñetazo, so.
I love that song. That song, yo, shout out to Muñeca.
Monique MC, man. And that's the thing, man. She was
I
nervous.
love you, Monique.
I could tell she was nervous, man. I'm not to say nothing bad about her, but she really came through for me because she was like, "How you want me to come on here?" I was like, "Yo, do it like this." You know what I'm saying? And we were speaking in Spanish. It was a little bit of English. She speaks good English. You know what I'm saying? Her job, you know, as she does English for a job, and but like, you know, it was a lot of Spanish, so it was like it was a real interesting process. You know what I'm saying? Doing that. You know what I'm saying? So
tell her she's dope to me.
She is.
She is.
No, she is, man. She is. But did you hear the Bale Conmigo, how she did it on that?
My man, she is dope to me. Just let her know for me. You know
I will. She's gonna see this video. She's probably gonna repost it too. Thank you in advance, Muñeca. Thank you for reposting this video.
I'm right here.
Yeah. Come holler at my man.
But shout out to my man Rick D. Rich. She said numbers 2, 3, and 8 are the standouts to me, but the whole joint is nice. Great production too. Got the fires, the hundreds, and the muscles. So, like I said, man, we bringing people together.
That's my homie. We friends on Facebook. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Hey, man,
shout out.
That's what's up, yo. Hey, man, you got the Lux fam on board. Let's end the conversation out really well before we go to the last parts of it. There is a song on here I really want you to talk about. Que Bonita Bandera. Okay. I like that one. It's a tune changer for me. Right. Tell me about that song. Where you was coming from with that?
All right, Que Bonita Bandera. Así todo pa mi gente se huepa. That basically is just saying, you know, what a beautiful flag. This is for all of my soldiers that say wepa like this. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. I don't know. But it's basically for the working man, whether you black, Hispanic, white, Chinese, whatever, you know, all nations, you know what I'm saying? It's for all nations. It's a national anthem, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that everybody can relate to, you know what I'm saying? And it's about everybody, you know, waking up early in the morning on your purpose, on your grind, doing what you have to do to make that happen for your family, you know what I'm saying? You know, making that money, you know what I'm saying? Bringing it back home, you know what I'm saying? You know, just doing what you have to do, you know what I'm saying? And the struggles and the beautiful struggle of life, you know what I'm saying? Because without the pain, you wouldn't appreciate the joy. You know what I'm saying? Without the rain, you wouldn't appreciate the sunshine. You know, without the anger and the horror, you wouldn't appreciate the peace. You know? So yeah.
Yo, like I said, I may not understand everything, but the things I pick up on, they resonate. Shout out to my sis Ty Phoenix who got on. She's one of the best MCs ever. If y'all know Ty Phoenix,
that's a beautiful lady right there.
Catch up, bro. Do I know?
Beautiful lady. Oh yeah. Salute, Ty.
Some people are asking, who's your favorite rapper of all time? Y'all are trying to take over my interview, but I'm gonna let that one ride. You can go right ahead.
Redman and Big Pun, but definitely Redman since I was like 14 years old, since he first came out on Def Jam. Redman. All
right, everybody. True indeed. Shout out to Redman. And hey, yo, you know what? I'm gonna let it rock. You know what's deep? That question I asked you about that song and how you went to the Common Man and the Flag brought me to one of my favorite parts of the interview called Stand on Your Square. I'm going to give you 60 seconds to talk your stuff and tell everybody why your album is important and why they need it. Go ahead.
All right. My album is important because, you know, if you want to have an album about living life that's not, you know, it's a change from that darkness, from that negative, low vibratory, you know, evil that a lot of people emit from their souls. You know, it's sunshine. You know what I'm saying? It's tropical storms and sunshine and flavor and a celebration of life and family and love. You know, and everything. You know what I'm saying? And if you really want to just love life and feel that for about an hour and 6 minutes, check out Triple Piragua. You know what I'm saying? That's
No, check out his discography.
Please.
There's good music all over that, y'all. Shout out to MJ's Hip Hop Connect for always bringing me some great artists.
Yo,
Shout out to MJ.
That woman shows results, man. That woman is top notch, man. That's a brand name you can depend on. MJ Hip Hop Connects, yo. For real, I recommend her to everybody, and I always do. She know that.
And she brought us together. So shout out to MJ's Hip Hop Connects. But Dopamine said his favorite rappers are Big Pun and Nori. So that's dope too. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Big Pun and Nori, definitely. Nori, I like no what. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. So let's have some fun as we close this interview out. I'm going to do something called impressions. I'm going to say something and you give me the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to, what I said. You ready?
All right.
Here we go. Flag.
Nation.
Island.
Puerto Rico.
Congas.
Africa.
Beats.
Heart. Beat.
Rhythm.
Energy.
Dance.
Movement.
What's the most important instrument in hip hop?
The drums.
What's the most international instrument in hip hop?
The horns.
James Brown.
Soul.
Bob James.
Nautilus.
Hector Lavoe.
El Cantante.
Selena.
Sexy.
All right, Gloria Estefan.
The rhythm's gonna get you.
Reggaeton.
Esto lo que es.
Hip hop.
That real shit.
And there y'all go, man. That's the impressions part of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. And now we come to the final part of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast, which is the rapid fire questions. You ready for this?
All right.
The rapid fire questions are not yes or no questions, ladies and gentlemen. These are questions that show you the depth of knowledge of the artist and what they believe in. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the people who chimed in on the comments. I hate to tell everybody this, but Facebook shut down my feed. So this was supposed to be on Facebook as well, and they shut it down. So everybody that's joining us now on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate you. The artists appreciate you. Thank you so much for checking us out. X, which is formerly Twitter, they shut me down as well. They said I had to pay $80 a year to get my stuff to go live on their platform. So I don't know, y'all. Until I start making more money, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But salute to Rich. D. Rich said he about to download everything. Everything. Says a great interview. Sir. This channel came up on my recommended page. I'm glad I clicked on it. The show was great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And the artists, salute to the artists too. And my man, Weirdo Party, Armando out there Diaz, who makes some of the dopest beats, takes some of the hottest pictures in the world. Yo, salute. I got family up in here, and I appreciate that.
Peace.
But let's get to the rapid fire questions. Are you ready to play this game? Because this one is kind of if you like boxing, we about to punch each other. You ready?
I hope so, man.
Here we go. What's the greatest hip hop beat ever made? Meaning, if you had it, it would have been your first single.
Damn. The Bridge Is Over.
Ooh. Are you gonna do a freestyle to it or something? Since everybody takes instrumentals nowadays.
Everybody's talking about they like Mig Mountain, but they still talking shit to me.
Talk about it. I would like a promo song by the Mountain for Heritage Hip Hop. I mean, I would feel blessed by that.
I got you.
Personally.
I got you.
Since I do like your music for real.
I got you. I'll definitely do something for you.
Shameless plug, everybody. Okay. What album or song from another artist's catalog perfectly describes you?
Breadman.
What song or album?
Brick City Mashing.
He a vibe dude. He up in here like this. Turn it up like
Do you,
that.
do you see any other nigga with it than me?
Yo, shout out to you.
I've had to feel him hollering to be in them. See.
Oh, okay. Daddy Rich said he want to do a collab with you.
Okay, let's do it, baby.
Hey, we cooking tonight.
Let's do it. Hit me, the real Mike Mountain at Instagram. MIC Mountain.
Okay, let's do it.
The real Mike Mountain. Yes, sir.
Africa's known for the drums.
That's right.
But Latin culture is defined by its horns.
Yeah.
What happens when you put both of those together?
You get some shit that make your heart sing, yo. That's all I can say, yo. You get some shit that make your heart sing. That's all I got.
Check this out. Pain is the foundation of hip hop because it was through great pain this great culture rose and took over the world, right?
That's right.
But joy is the ultimate outlook for the victory of the overcome pain. When you create music, does your best music come from your pain or your joy?
My joy.
Define how joy for you is more powerful than pain.
Joy gives me purpose and a reason to keep living. A reason for tomorrow, a reason for years later. Without that, I just want to give up. I just want to crash out. I just want to crawl up and die in a hole somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So, and I honestly, man, that's all I can say. So joy, the joy of hope and joy is synonymous with me.
Salute to you, yo, because I'm going to tell you something. There's certain things that people get confused that I really need them to know. People always scream to be free, but they only fight for liberty, not freedom. And people always talk about winning, but they never talk about victory, because winning is for the moment and victory is the outcome of a lifetime. That's why you're victorious over death. You don't win in the battle of death. You feel me? So
appreciate that.
That's dope that you said that. And my next question for you would be this. Let's go to the hip hop multiverse. If Big Pun would have lived, what would hip hop have been with him still alive?
Oh man. Big Pun would have been so commercial right now. But at the same time, he would have expanded. He would have bridged the gap between the Latin. There would be no beef between Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, and blacks. There would be none of that. No, none of that. I ain't gonna say no names, but it would be none of that. You know what I'm saying? It would be none of that. He would have already bridged the gap. You know what I'm saying? He already put love in the hearts of many people of the African diaspora who don't speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like he would have been already closed that, man. He would have shut the game down. You know what I'm saying? They would probably built the bridge from Florida to Brazil by now or some shit, man.
I think Big Pun's death caused a crater-sized hole in hip-hop we have not recovered from yet. And I don't have the right people to talk about it with. So for you, I want to ask you these questions because I think I could get more of a unique perspective of it, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Like I was saying before, Latin hip-hop has so many elements, from Kid Frost in the West Coast, lighter shade of brown from the West Coast, even on the East Coast. It's easy to say Fat Joe, Terror Squad, Pun, but like I said, Royal Flush, Fab. I mean, damn, Carmelo Anthony's Hispanic in parts of his his lineage.
His dad, yeah.
Why is it important for us not to separate us by flags, but to unify ourselves in beats, in your opinion?
Because at the end of the day, we all we got. And I know that's so cliche, but it's so true. At the end of the day, we are all we have. Who's going to look out for us but us? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to look out for us but us? And it's not about us being against a certain demographic or people or a certain color. It's about us being against what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And the more that we connect with each other, the more that other people are going to say, you know what? They're not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Let's join with them.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't seeing things right. I see what they doing is working.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Who's the greatest example to music in your opinion? Not beats, not just rhymes, music.
You mean in hip hop or period?
That's your decision.
I would say because he's on the top of my mind right now, and because he's so talented and he can do so much, I would say Pun.
Okay, so let's go back into the multiverse of hip hop. On the Capital Punishment album, there was supposed to be a battle rap song like Meth vs. Chef between Jadakiss and Big Pun. If Jadakiss and Big Pun were to meet each other in today's hip hop as OGs instead of new rhymers, where do you think the culture would be as them as elder statesmen?
You mean if they never met before, or if
as they come together as OG status in the game?
They would have had an album. Where do I think hip hop would be?
Yeah, with those two influences together, being that, all right, let me give you some more backstory to this. Biggie is more responsible for people acknowledging Jay-Z than people give Jay-Z and Biggie credit for.
That's right.
Because it was in that interview when they asked Biggie, who makes you nervous when he rhymes? He said, Jay-Z, my nigga Jigga or Rap City. Now, Jay-Z was already out, and people were warming up to Reasonable Doubt, but look where Jay-Z is today. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That Biggie cosign meant a lot.
Right? You mean if they had did that song?
I mean, them even getting together and just being peers. Like, yes, like that. Like Jadakiss and Big Pun were supposed to have a song together where they battled each other about 16 for 16. And it started off with them getting on each other. Jadakiss like, you fat motherfucker, I'll fuck you up. And Big Pun said, he's like, you Ninja Turtle looking nigga with a headband, I'm gonna fuck you up. And then they were gonna rhyme against each other as peers. And then they were gonna grow from that. Where do you think hip hop would be with them two? Because they were the peers at the time that were coming up.
Oh, easily. Hip hop would be. It would not be on no traps. No Simple Simon rhyming. We have not gone through that phase. We would not have gone through that phase. Instead of the hip hop renaissance, which is resurfacing right now,
mm-hmm.
It would have been in the forefront. It would have been in the forefront. Okay. It would have been upheld. If they two were holding up the helm, and they were the standard of hip hop, people would be trying to be like them. You know what I'm saying? All of the youth, all of them.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, yo. Every great hip hop artist needs a peer or a rival.
Keep them on point.
And then every hip hop great breaks an artist to you that you sleep on. Like, I'm gonna give it to y'all this way. If it wasn't for Big Pun, none of y'all would be like a Black Thought right now.
No.
I'm gonna keep it real. Because I remember when Fat Joe said Pun wanted Black Thought in his album, he's like, word? And he was like, do you listen to what he's saying? And Black Thought ripped. Man, look, I'm just keep going, yo. Shout out to Big Pun. Rest in peace, bro.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Let's finish this interview with 4 more questions. I'm gonna give you a throwaway question. How you like being on Heritage Hip Hop, or would you recommend us to any up-and-coming artists and veterans in the game?
I would recommend you to everybody that I know. I love Heritage Hip Hop. This has been one of my best interviews ever, if not the best. And that's my honest opinion.
There you go.
Yeah.
So all y'all out there that's artists who like a real interview with insight and stuff that you could use to build your content with, your portfolio. I got somebody's sales on my interview. Salute to my man who spent the money. Y'all can cash at me too. $ Heritage Hip Hop, you know.
Don't half-ass with him because he's gonna give you the 100%. So give him your 100%.
Facts. Shout out to everybody watching and thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go to the last 3 questions of the interview. What is the best way hip hop can be remembered to you?
In a hip hop time capsule, buried somewhere where aliens find it.
What would you put in it?
Every hip hop classic that ever made hip hop what it is, up to like the mid. No, I would include everything up to today. I would include everything up to today. Everything that unanimously and ubiquitously. See, I can't say. I can speak
all
Spanish. Right. My English is fucked.
It's all good, bro. We understand.
Everything that everybody can agree on is classics will be included in that time capsule. Also images, photographs of everyone, all types of multimedia. And when I say multimedia, that's different forms of art, different forms of recorded media. Yeah, that's it.
I got a hip hop classic for you. You want to see it?
Which one is that? Bulletproof?
Bulletproof.
Okay. I never seen that. Yeah. And also, the joint where they was wrestling, the joint with the Def
Jam Vendetta.
Yeah. That's it.
How about this one?
Okay.
This was a game about a graffiti artist that fought against the government. Talib Kweli was the voice.
Oh, nice.
PlayStation 2.
Nice.
The best video game system of all time. Salute to us who are of age. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean. Hip hop is so much bigger than just beats and rhymes. It is a culture because we have tent poles that hit every inspiration of the genre in different forms of media that makes it bigger than just doing this. That's why jazz fell off. That's why rock and roll fell off. That's why R&B fell off, because it kept only in your speaker. It didn't go beyond the idea of just
it wasn't an activity.
Exactly. It wasn't alive.
It wasn't exactly. And that's what makes it a culture. I get it.
See, we doing big shit here. You know what I'm saying? So before we get off of here, everybody, but the rapid fire questions, I have one more rapid fire question. Once again, give me your social media. I'll put it back on the screen, but give me your social media so they can find you.
The Real Mike Mountain. That's the Real MIC Mountain at TikTok and Instagram. Also Mike Mountain Music at Facebook. The Real Mike Mountain at YouTube. MikeMountain.com. TriplePiragua.com. I'm everywhere. Just Google me, Mike Mountain. Check me out.
And that merch. Tell them about that merch. Get that music and that merch out there.
What am I thinking, man? The brand. What if you want a t-shirt like this? If you want, I got basketball sneakers for men. I got women's slide-on shoes. I got chanclas. I got, you know what I'm saying? The flip-flops. I got baby doll t-shirts. I got snapbacks. I got bucket hats. I got everything, man. Shot glasses. Triple Piragua, Mas Piragua, everything. Theme songs. Everything comes with the free download of music. Some comes with albums. Some comes with singles. You could get CDs. You could get merchandise. You could get everything, man. Downloads, physical CDs, everything. Go to triplepiragua.com, or you can go to MikeMountain.com and go to store. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little too hyped now.
And shout out to the cartoon ladies. his animated videos are dope. Go check those out.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll look.
Yeah, on the beach.
So shout out to everybody watching. Thank you for joining the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, I thank you. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, RadioCast, wherever you stream your podcast, thank you for your time and investing the time into our efforts to bring you not only a credible podcast, but one that celebrates hip hop culture and God's greatest asset when it comes to hip hop, you yourself. Thank you very much. And we've come to the end. This is the last question of the first interview. So if you ever want to come back, the door is open. You're more than welcome. And I give you new questions. I don't ask the same thing twice. So that's just how we get down. But here's the most important question of the first interview. All right, peace. I'm gonna say have a good night. He checked this out. Thank you, Armando. I appreciate you. Here's the most important question of the first interview. 500 years from now in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, which is down at the Hip Hop Museum in DC, which is in his backyard, basically. 500 years from now, so you're gonna inspire people that's just learning about hip hop. They're gonna push a button on the wall, and your hologram's gonna come out, and they're gonna play your music. And you're 500 years from now, people will be listening to Mike Mountain. What is the legacy you leave behind that made the world better because you made hip hop music?
I gave them the unique experience of Mike Mountain. There's only one you. And I put my whole self into my music. And I gave them the unique experience of Mike Mountain, from my culture to my beliefs, to my experiences, from my ups, my downs, my sads, my lows. And it's something that can inspire people and that can something that they can relate to and learn from. Hopefully, 500 years from now, inshallah, ojalá, I hope so. You know what I'm saying? God willing.
Everybody out there, may the Most High bless you and may the Most High keep you. Stay around. Don't leave yet. We're gonna leave this interview with this. All good things come in struggle. And just because you struggle does not mean your life is bad. Just remember this. Life is the classroom without walls. And everything you go through is a learning experience. It's not if it's good or bad. It's the experience that you get. And when you take the knowledge of the experience of what you went through to be able to sustain your life and to teach people that come after you. If you want to build a legacy, live your story, because your life is the greatest story that you're ever going to tell, through beats, through rhymes, through writing, but more importantly, through living and sharing your testimony with those who will listen to your story. This is Karev at Heritage Hip Hop with my man Mike Mountain. And we're going to say peace. Thank you for watching. And we out.
Real hip hop. Real hip hop. We here. Real hip hop. For real. Real hip hop.